Hey, this is Dylan here from Guadangos Gym. Just basically wanted to talk to you guys real quick to basically go over what I've learned in the past week. I purchased the book Charlie Francis Training Systems, which has been a lot of the people that I like to follow, Mike Guadangos especially, Buddy Morris, Cal Dietz, they all kind of follow a lot of Charlie Francis's principles when it comes to training. And I just kind of want to go over what some of the stuff that I've learned personally from the book has been so far. Sorry, I'm home on lunch from work, so I got to get back pretty soon, but hopefully I'll make this quick. Basically, one of the things I learned is that, obviously, I kind of already knew this, but quality is better than quantity. There's been numerous times that Charlie Francis would stop his guys early if they broke a PR. Let's say, for instance, I'm running a 10-yard dash with my athletes, and an athlete runs a PR on the 5th rep. We're supposed to do 8 of them. He would stop it there at 5 reps, so that way it stopped there, they got a PR, they move on to the next exercise. No reps are set in stone every day. It just kind of depends on how the athlete's feeling. If the athlete has enough muscle fibers that are loosened, like the tonnage on the muscles, if the muscles are too tight, then the athlete's not going to be able to contract them at a fast enough rate, which means they're going to run slow. Basically, there's no reason to work out unless you're going to get maximum output with these type of athletes, sprinters, football players, training for speed, stuff like that. Basically, so a lot of the stuff they did, very CNS related, I guess, with everything he does. Like, he wouldn't do full-out sprints 2 days in a row. He'd do maybe sprints on Monday and then come back to them again on Wednesday, but he does tempo running in between each day, because tempo runs you can do every day to help you with your form, your conditioning, just help you maximize how to sprint at a fast pace and get your body, your work capacity up to run faster. So that's one of the main things, is that I kind of always set in stone, like I'm doing 8 by 10 starts a day. But if I feel like shit, probably should stop doing the starts. Like if I'm sore, if I'm hurt, I'm not running them efficiently, done with the exercise. I learned that. Also, he's really big into massage. I know a lot of people foam roll and stuff like that. He massages guys all the time. I actually got a massage on my honeymoon, like the first real massage I've had. It was awesome. Unfortunately, I can't afford it, so I've been doing a lot of extra foam rolling, contrast showers, like 2.5 minutes on warm, 30 seconds on cold, repeat that a few times. That really helps me out for recovery. I think one of the main things that was advanced in his time was recovery. Everyone thinks you can just beat your people on the ground, when really it's not about, you have to know what training system you're training for. Like, there's no reason for any explosive athlete to have to run a mile in their preparatory phase. Should be just focusing on what they need for their sport and how to get there, and do it in the easiest way possible. Like, make sure your athletes are fresh, make sure they're feeling good, dictate the workout on how they're feeling. If, let's say, it was planning on being a low day but they're feeling great, you can up the intensity a little bit. If it's supposed to be an intense day and they're not feeling great, cut the work down, see what they can do. Also, another thing, I bought Mike Guadangos' seminar that he did in, I think it was Switzerland, I'm not positive, but that was a great resource. He's a younger guy, only 27, I'm 25, so the stuff that he knows at his age is pretty amazing. He talks a lot about imbalances in the body, and basically the first thing he does when he's seeing an athlete, which I never had any coaches do, is the first thing he does, he has them take their shoes off, their shirt off, and their shorts off, and they just stand there. I think they have on, maybe they keep shorts on, I'm not sure, but they're in their underwear essentially. And he basically will look at their body, look at the feet first, because pretty much the feet can dictate any problems you have in your body. If one arch is higher up than the other, then chances are that hip might be higher, or basically everything leads to the feet. So he kind of knows. I just did a little assessment on myself after watching the video. My thoracic extension this way, if I go like this, I can do it much further back on my left side than my right side. Also, my left hip is up a little bit higher than my right hip is. And I tend to have more knee pain in my right knee than my left knee. My ankle seems a little bit tighter, less mobile than my left ankle. So basically what I found out is that the reason I could have been having knee pain all this time was, I always thought it was hip mobility and quadriceps, which, my hip mobility has improved a lot in the past 2 years, a lot, but I also have some ankle tightness in that right ankle, which if I get my ankles more mobile, it will probably help my knees feel a lot better. Another thing that was pretty cool about his seminar is he talked about how he can get so much strength on a guy just from doing like sprint speed work. Like he doesn't even, if it's an experienced guy, like he doesn't need to really work squats, because it's a lot easier to get fast guy stronger than to get a strong guy faster. So he mainly, like, especially like obviously football, like a sport, you know what I mean? Like it's powerlifting, obviously. I started doing like heavy squats, stuff like that. But like for a football athlete, you can gain a lot on your squat because your central nervous system is being trained every time that you're doing speed work, and by training them in an explosive manner, you're going to be also not only getting faster and more explosive, but you're going to get hypertrophy on your legs, make your legs stronger. So he revisits the squats occasionally. You know what this athlete's like. I talked to him online. He said out of a 12-week period, if he was training like a high school football player who squats 350 and wanted to squat 400 by testing, if the testing was in August and he started and it was June, that was the current period, he said he would probably only have him squat the last 4 months of the last 4 weeks of the program, so like 1 out of 3 months, and he gets great results with his guys. He also utilized a lot of circuits from this DVD. I want to figure out how to get general strength. Dan Pet, I don't know how to pronounce the guy's name, but Dan Pfaff DVD, and he uses a lot of circuits from there to get his guys better work capacity. The gist of it is that for the most part, he wants to make sure the people that are doing the exercises right before they move on. He'll have pro athletes and that don't know how to do push-up. They're beasts, but they don't know how to do a push-up. So he'll make sure he addresses the little thing to make sure the body's moving efficiently, because you want to not only perform, make the athlete perform the best they can, but you want them to also be safe and injury-free. Another thing that was interesting from it that I took away with it is I obviously know warming up's important. I've gotten a lot better at my warming up. I used to hate warming up. But he said, you never want to go into a workout cold. Like, you don't want to. And I thought to myself, there's a couple times last week when I just went in and I was like, I'll just get warmed up as I'm going. Stupid. You might as well warm up all the way. Today, put on a sweatshirt, sweatpants. I live in North Carolina, so it's fucking hot. Wore those, and then also did the workout from the Hill workout that Joe D and James Smith just put out for like it's a sprint workout. But I did that warm up, and I had my sweatshirt and sweatpants on. I also turned the heat on full blast the whole drive down, so I was had a real good sweat. My sprints went a lot better than last week, and I felt really good the whole workout. So I think that's definitely a key to remember that to warm up properly. Basically, one thing he said that the Soviets used to what am I going to say? Soviets used to, they found for every degree the body was warmed up more, the percentage of, performance increased. So basically, obviously, you don't want to give your guys a fever, but you want your guys to be really warmed up, body temperature very high, so their joints are lubricated and can move. Other than that, let's see, he talked about so many good points, just how to not just push through your athletes, keep going, blah, 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 don't be like a douche to them. Don't be they don't all react well to that. Some people just need to be told you're doing a good job. Most athletes have shitty confidence. It's your job to build it up, even if their last rep wasn't perfect. Be like, oh, very good, and build up their confidence. The more they do it, they'll probably get it down. Everything's repetition. Anyways, I really learned a lot from those 2 seminars. One's a book. I haven't finished the Charlie Francis book yet, but just from reading it, learning a lot about the recovery methods. It's interesting. He talks about muscle stimulation, which is pretty crazy. I don't have one, obviously it's expensive, but I guess you put it up to you can kind of train the body's CNS, which CNS stands for central nervous system for you guys that don't know. Basically trains the central nervous system to trains it while you're just sitting there and just use electronic contractions for a while. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it sounds like an interesting thing to do. But yeah, he was really big in recovery, really big in high-low method, which means high intensity one day, low intensity the next day, and also really big into just how his athletes were feeling. You gotta constantly ask your athletes, how are you feeling? He said 90% of the time that he had to hold back his athletes as opposed to motivating them. About 10% of the time spent motivating them, which makes sense, especially using high-level athletes. They're all going to be motivated. They're going to want to say, yes, coach, I can do another one. Who's going to say, no, I don't want to do it? You have to tell them, no, I need you to be honest with me. Obviously, if you get a lazy piece of shit kid, you know, then you're gonna have to get on his ass like, what the fuck, dude, you're being a pussy. But for the most part, listen to your athletes. If they're sore, like, have them stop, do something else. You know, it's better long term for them. Anyways, that's just a little quick synopsis of what I learned this week. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned. Me and my boy Jordan Anderson are working towards following our dream of starting up a business together, strength training athletes. We're just starting to work on a website. Decided we should probably get a website going. Also, just if you know anyone who's in the Charlotte area or who wants online coaching from us at a reasonable price, definitely hit up my my YouTube page, comment on it. Other than that, the website we're planning on putting together is called AdondaysAthleticPotential.com. AdondaysAthleticPerformance.com. Anyways, hit me up. We'll do online programs, in-depth training. Get you jacked. All right, see ya.